If you're seeing this now, then that means you're the best Bandicoot because you're here watching my pre-show. Pre-show is where we make sure everything is working, and I put the video into a playlist. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm still very much congested and I have a little bit of a sore throat, so bear with me, but I'm okay. Alright, let's make sure you can hear me. So let's go ahead. You can hear me. Cool. Let me just, because I don't know if YouTube is going to notify, so. Alright. Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to another reaction. Today we are reacting to The Last of Us Definitive Playthrough. I know it's been a while since we've done a reaction to this, and I already finished part 1, so it is what it is. But this is with Troy Baker, Nolan North, and Merle Dandridge again, who is Marlene, and let's see how badly Troy sucks at his own game.
Welcome to the Fireflies.
So this is the reason why we had to bring you back.
Sorry about that.
We're not gonna have you go through all of that misery and not see your wonderful performance.
Well, hold on now.
Hold on, I want to talk.
You came all this way. How'd you do it?
It was her. She fought like hell to get here.
This is how we met, Troy.
Are you the white fella?
I am.
That is one hell of a performance.
Thank you very much.
This was your audition scene.
I'm diverse. Yeah, this is exactly how we met. And I remember thinking, he's so different.
Across in the country. I pretty much lost everything. And then you show up, and somehow we find you just in time to save her. Maybe it was meant to be.
The way Troy is holding
You don't
his
have to worry about
controller
her
right
anymore.
now.
We'll take care.
I worry.
I need Marlene's arms.
Let me see her,
Dang.
please.
You can't. She's being prepped for surgery.
The hell you mean surgery?
The doctors tell me the cordyceps, the growth inside her, has somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine.
I loved your face.
Wait,
A vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does.
It's so sad.
whoa, wait a minute. Yo, I don't know
Someone
about this.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where.
Oh, hey,
Stop.
who the hell is that?
Nolan.
Downs.
Uncle
get it.
Cletus?
Uncle Cletus.
But whatever it is you think you're going through right now is nothing to what I have been through. I knew her since she was born. I promised your mother I would look after her.
Then why are you letting this happen?
Because this isn't about me, or even her. There is no other choice here.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
Wait,
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him.
I had no idea that they had to kill her to get what they needed.
This gift.
I thought it was in her blood. Get some samples.
No, it's on the brain.
Well, that's right, because they could have sent samples of blood.
Get up.
How did I miss that?
Here, Robin.
Get up.
I said get up.
Uh-oh. Y'all done fucked up.
Spaghettios.
Come on. Move. I said move.
That was unprompted.
Give me an excuse. Which way?
We did this all as a wonder, so it's like clock your backpack.
What the fuck you doing? Keep walking. I said keep walking. Where was the operating room?
Yo.
I ain't got time for this.
Yo.
Where? Top floor, the far end.
Well, you already killed him, and then he tells you?
Pain.
Oh, dag.
Well, that's why you don't push someone when you don't need to.
Nolan.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't push me.
There'd be no pushing him.
So it's gonna behoove me to
Behoove.
Troy's a big believer in the close quarters shotgun deal. Your stuff on that table you're gonna get? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
That's his name?
Ethan. Poor Ethan.
Okay.
I remember when he sold that lemonade stand.
Your friend Ethan?
Yeah. He was such a good kid growing up. And you killed him.
Oh, what's that box on the left?
Something shiny, but I've got a flashlight in my face.
So you don't move until you
It's a
do
Rubik's
that.
Cube.
It's a Rubik's
Oh,
Cube.
it's just a brick. Now, can you throw a brick at that guy's head and like knock him out?
I wouldn't knock him out, but
Would annoy him.
Oh shit!
I grabbed him. Bullshit.
You scare me.
Yuri?
Yeah.
Man. Whoa. Careful, yo. Where's your bullet?
Ah, fuck. Damn it. Come on, go to a different weapon.
Dang it, yo.
All right. I was on the wrong side of that. Okay. So you were saying about
He killed Ethan.
Not Ethan.
where's he at?
Behind you.
Ah, fuck.
You walk down the hallway.
Good grief. I'm so
Yeah, there should be
scared.
guys behind you too. Be careful of them fellers behind you. What about the 17 shots? What is that? Is that just not a...
I've got it on my other one.
That's a good gun.
Yeah, but
Now,
it's kinda-
does he have bullets that you'd want?
Come on.
Get behind the door. Can you close the door?
Trying to.
This makes me want to go home and play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Go get their bullet. Go get those
I'm gonna
guns.
get those guns. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
4.
Ammo.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's a shotgun there.
Yeah, I need to get a med kit. Damn it.
Curses.
Right.
All right, I like
We're also
this.
playing on the most
We can go.
difficult level.
Are we?
Why?
Oh, get the bullets. I like bullets.
Marley.
Yeah,
She's like, why?
It's a shotgun, man.
M4 by now, right?
Did you lose it? Did they not give that to you?
Good down, dumbass.
I see somebody.
I just
I seen some things what might help me. God, shut up.
Grab that stuff.
Is that a Neapolitan chocolate bar?
Yes, it was. It was a Neapolitan chocolate bar.
Oh, he's coming in the room. He's coming in the room. And axe. Nice. Choke him. Choke him. Choke him. Anybody wearing a bucket hat deserves to be choked.
Nolan.
Unless you're on a golf course. That would be rude.
Or you're Bill Murray.
What do you need scissors for?
Yeah. You know what?
You
Good
could make a shiv out of scissors. You can do a
got-
nail bomb or what else?
Oh,
can
the
you do?
bat thing with the tape.
Yeah, batty.
Batty.
So
I think
there's
that's the way you came, isn't it? That's where the room he took you out of.
I would like an arts and crafts tutorial on weapons.
Sure.
Like
yeah,
an
no
arts
problem.
and crafts tutorial on a weapon.
What you got? Nothing. What about you? Let's check over here.
If Troy sucks this bad
Go that way.
on,
I'm gonna go around.
These are all my guys.
I think
You're
they're doing
killing my
normal
guys.
difficulty. But if he sucks on normal, I don't even want to see him
So
do it
could
on
you go back
grounded.
out the door while they go that way?
Holy shit! What are you gonna do?
Oh, stupid.
Man, oh man. Don't be scared, Nolan.
I just kind of fucked my own strategy.
Oh.
Oh, that guy has a. Oh, there's a.
Wasn't there a person behind you?
That guy has the M4. If that's what you want.
I'm trying to get the M4.
Hey, that guy over there to your right did. He just dropped one. If you want to.
Oh, you can take weapons off dead people?
For sure.
Yeah, that guy didn't have it. The other guy did. That guy you shot behind the pillar over there had.
Yeah, I know.
More arts and crafts.
More arts and crafts.
Nail bombs, I'm good. I could do another Molotov. Yeah, don't necessarily need.
I want you to get that
Reinforce
machine.
that.
I want to see that machine gun at work.
All right.
Is that the thing the other dead guy had that you wanted to pick up?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I know it's his like not that guy, the guy
in the far-
down to the left. is
Yeah.
the one that. And in there, by the pool table. It's a hospital bed. I know.
Same thing. Pool table.
That guy
hospital
saw it. Yeah, there it is.
bed. Aha. Aha.
Assault rifle. Yes, equip that.
Perfect. That's
Equip that Mandalorian. I want you to bring the clicker closer to me. I want to see him, the baby. So
baby?
she said, he said top floor. So I assume you have to find
looking
stairs.
for stairs. Yeah.
I didn't realize there was this much shoe leather in between scenes.
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry. Is this game getting in the way of your movie?
Where the hell are the stairs?
This is the way that I came.
Yeah. This is like I'm trying to think.
So,
There. Right?
West Wing.
the,
That was a good shot.
Martin Sheen.
yes.
Fred Tatasciore.
Travis Willingham.
Hide. Nice work.
Oh, that was
That was really cute.
that was very slick.
Are you a dancer?
He's over here!
How did they know? Because you got your big flashlight on?
Maybe.
They said he's over here and they ran the other way.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, maybe somebody else is up there looking for Ellie too. That's not true.
Look like Jaws with your little dorsal fin up there.
Do you have a dorsal fin?
This looks like a dead end.
Yoda. Oh!
He may have bullets.
Oh, now they know where you are.
Can you jump out there and get any bullets he may have had?
Is that a trumpet?
20 more rounds.
Pretty smart, huh?
Dang that Travis there.
Did you
You
do
remember
that?
doing
Did you
this?
put your own-
Yes.
That was
And
good.
dying
In-game
a billion
cinematic, so-
times.
Oh, all these new terminologies. Endgame cinematic.
So it's a cinematic moment that happens when you're still kind of on the stick in game.
I'm super stressed.
So am I. Man, this is just...
Did I not
I feel like
grab
you're
the...
giving me advice, Drew.
I don't think I grabbed the surgeon's recorder, actually.
Yeah. I'm
Just
not
for
really...
me. Just for me.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I grabbed it,
Okay.
but I'll grab it in the next playthrough.
Somebody here?
It should be artifacts all the way down, is it?
Yep.
There you go.
April 28th. Marlene was right. The girl's infection is like nothing I've ever seen.
I was right.
The cause of her immunity is uncertain. As we've seen in all past cases, the antigenic titers
Any
of
guesses
the
who that
patient's
is?
cordyceps remain high in both the serum and the cerebrospinal fluid. Blood cultures taken from the patient rapidly.
Mystery. A lot of voice recorders in this post-pandemic world.
There you go.
And I missed a shiv door. Okay.
I don't
I
know.
have chills all over. I'm very stressed out.
Do I want that machete? Is that what a machete is that down there? No, it's just a pipe, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
I do want some bullets.
Looks like a crowbar in my Half-Life world.
is that a shotgun too? Man, you're getting lots of good stuff.
Yeah, what do I got? What do I got up here? Let me see what I got. Brion Stewart's me.
What is that?
Oh, wow. Let's go. I want to save Ellie.
I don't know. I have 190, so I could do weapon sway would probably be good. Healing speed would be good. I thought I did listen mode distance, maximum health. Sure.
Are you
Crazy.
but like into building games? Do you build any games? Any,
Give me an example of what you mean, like a Minecraft situation, or
no,
like.
like do you not a building game, but do you build games? Like, you know, are like writing and creating the content.
Absolutely.
So what comes first, the world, or, you know, creating the whole story, or this kind of thing? Because this
We were all about it
I've
games when
never-
we started.
I
True.
don't have a lot of knowledge of and time with, but I do have knowledge and time with the, you know, dialogue and the
Sure.
character building and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, chicken and the egg, which comes first, or is it all?
That's
You
the
know.
door you came in.
That's the door I came in. Most what I would consider great games start with a question, or start with a conceit of. Perfect example is this. What happens with two people? How do two people navigate a world together when they're thrown together
Go to the right. Go to the right. You went to the left last time, so go to the right this time.
and they have to work together in order to survive? So that's a topic really for Neil to really tackle, but most of the games that I've seen that have really meant something to people are, what happens if we do this? And then out of that conceit, a game is born, characters are created, a script is written.
Out of the human experience.
Out of the human experience, it's like, what do we want to do here?
I miss so
Let's see,
many
this
things
is
up
a letter
here
from
Marlene.
Marlene.
Yeah.
since you're here.
because I was so focused
my
on
voice?
saving Ellie.
Marlene's journal. Let's see here. To read, March 5th. Do you want to read it for us?
Yeah.
Marlene?
We finally crossed the Utah border.
Here.
In a couple of days, we'll be back with the others. Today, the crew is in much better spirits. I've been worried about their morale since Greg and Tanya's passing last week. It's good to hear them laughing again. Robin came up to me and said,
Thanks for watching over us, Marlene.
I mean, it was a small gesture, but I needed it.
Wait. Hey.
Back. Dang, Marlene, your handwriting sucks. Ellie never made it. We arrived at the hospital, and there was much celebration, at least from the others. I guess they're happy to see their old friends. We haven't seen some of these guys in over 10 years. After they told me the news, I couldn't eat, couldn't talk to anyone. I should be grateful to just be alive, but right now I just want to shut my eyes for a bit. March 24th. They look at me and I know what they're thinking. We're a bunch of incompetent grunts. What was I supposed to do? I thought I was gonna die. My men were being hunted. Are we gonna read this whole thing?
Yeah.
The entire Boston battalion had to get her out of the city. How was I supposed to know the Firefly escorts were already dead? God damn it. I panicked. In the end, I healed pretty damn quickly, and my men were more capable than I gave them credit for. More than a hand will survive the army attack. I should have kept her with me. Instead, I handed her off to a couple of
I love
smugglers.
this too.
I failed you, Anna. I failed all of us. I'm
Anna.
an incompetent grunt. April 25th. I can't stand talking to any of them. I don't think I can take the stairs any longer. No way I can stay here.
Hold on a second, because I failed you, Anna. I failed all of us. Who is Anna?
That's that's Ellie's mom. What are you talking about? Do I know? I do my character work, Troy Baker.
Look at this.
April 28th. One of our scouts just radioed in. He spotted an
I'm so
older
glad we
man
get to
and a
hear
young
her
girl
read all of
entering the
this.
tunnel by
Yes.
the bus terminal. He thinks she might have had red hair, but he's not sure. What if it's her? Stop doing this, Marlene. The recon squad is about to head out. I'm gonna join them. April 28th. When you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. That's the catchphrase. She's alive. They're running the tests on her now. I can't tell if I'm excited, scared, or just nervous. All I know is my heart, my hands won't stop shaking.
Oh, dude.
That's cool.
High five, Marlene. High five.
I failed you, Anna.
Oof, I failed you, Anna.
You're right, I shouldn't have skipped over that.
That's a.
I was just like, dang, I'm reading the Gettysburg Address.
The Gettysburg Address.
Was that written on the back of an envelope too?
Totes.
I knew my history. What do I have here? There we go. Shivs are good.
Every time I see alcohol, I think, oh, he's getting really worn out. He really needs to, like,
Just needs a drink.
yeah, he needs to blunt his nerves a little.
Hey, everybody, sit down and have a glass of bourbon.
My name is
Just
Jewel,
realized that they're up here
and
in
I
the
have,
Regardless.
and I'm an alcoholic.
Douglas P.
Is this the way that I came? Classic Douglas P.
I eat pills and drink
Oh,
alcohol.
Classic Douglas P. I was like, I feel like I wasn't
10
cool.
out of 10
Now, right to the
playthrough,
right
yes.
when you go through this door.
Homemade
You went
swill.
through this door to the left, so go to the right. See what happens.
This door?
Yeah. You went to the left last time.
It's a dead end ski.
Dead end ski?
Hold on, but did I not hear people?
Listen.
There's a stairway down, but you don't want to do that. Or do
That's
you
the
go
way
up
that I
again?
came up.
Oh, that's right.
There's not a stairway up. There's not a stairway down.
You're right, you're
See?
right. So you went to the right. Let's see, I'm usually pretty good.
I mean, you go to the light, right?
When you're lost in the
And then
darkness,
go
look
to
for the
left.
light.
Firefly would do.
Unless you go straight, but the straight looks dead end.
There's light this way.
Firefly.
Surgery. Duh. Hi. Prepping her for surgery.
Ah,
Come on, guys.
he can read.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man,
I'm coming, Ellie.
poor Ellie Poo Poo Pie. Poor Ellie.
We were just hovering around a trigger event. Caw-caw!
Stay in so you can get. Can you get there when that? Can you get down there when? Can you just hide behind those couches when
Crawl on your elbows.
That's gonna cause a lot of noise.
Fuck!
Did you throw a bomb?
Pretty effective. A nail bomb, yeah.
A nail bomb. So like nails went everywhere?
I'm hit.
I'm hit.
What's that?
Can you get against the wall and go down behind that other bathroom?
Imagine Nathan Drake right behind Joel the whole time.
Can you? Can you go to the right by the wall?
Yeah.
Good
to the
thinking,
right?
Lincoln.
What's to the right? What's to the right? Is that just an empty room?
Come on, guys.
What is that arrow pointing at? What is that doing?
That's gonna let me know where my nail bomb is gonna go.
Oh, I see.
Oh, shit.
What happened to it?
What's in that room to the right? Can you flank them?
You're real smart, you know that?
No, just I've watched him play a lot of this.
Come on.
Nathan, don't worry, buddy. I killed this amount of people for breakfast, even though it's 11 p.m.
That's a very powerful gun.
I guess so. What is that, a loaf of bread? You hungry?
That is a...
Yeah, he's just gonna go flank those guys that are on the other side.
Joel, who the hell are you?
You'll get around them.
Oh, no.
Can you throw that lamp?
No, there's only certain items you can pick up.
That next room, you're right on him. Oh.
Was it candy bar?
That's candy bar.
Come on. No.
He's gonna come right in behind these dudes.
I feel like Nathan Drake and Joel would actually be friends.
Alright, we're going over this way. Check down there.
Jason Spizak.
Ooh. Look to the left. He might be coming in that room.
I don't like this.
How'd you see me, dickhole?
Woo! We.com. Woo! Whoa, yo. Oh, you are straight up cornered. Wow. How did you make it out of that? Way to go, dude.
Dude, if you don't heal,
Oh, no. Get down. Yeah, that's good job. Is there anybody behind you? Oh, no.
Get down.
Oh, Jesus, with my game controller. Please help save Troy in this time of trouble.
Craft, medkit.
medkit. Use a medkit.
Jesus.
Wow.com. I cannot believe you lived through that.
Yeah, why am I not... Hi. I want to take my medkit. Hi. And heal. There we go. Sorry.
Woo.
R2. That's what I was missing. There it is.
Wow.
Oh,
So...
Breathe, everybody breathe.
do you need more? Do you need more bullets? Should you go back through all those dead bodies and get bullets, or?
Uh-oh.
Glitch. Invisible car.
I'm that good. There is a certain moment in this game that, yeah, I think this is it. At least we're getting, yeah. There's a certain moment in this game we're about to see. We can either do one of two things. We can show
So,
you
well, darn, Nate, I reckon if we're gonna do
the
this, we
ending
must
of it, or we can show you
be each other's backs.
a different
Yep.
version of this. Do you remember this day? So, let me refresh
Nate,
your memory
sorry,
and bring
pal.
up
I
something
don't
to
speak text.
What do you think? Should we show? Should we show the original version and then show the alternate version? Because once we actually get into it, I don't want to break it up and bring this one. So,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
this is so great. There was a day that we were shooting, and we had kind of changed up the ending because we weren't sure exactly once we get out of this moment how this like little last boss battle was going to go. So we'd shot a version of this, and then Neil iterated on it, and the team worked on it, and they were like, you know what, we need to change this, and so we need to reshoot it again. So we bring in Merle back, and myself, Robin Atkin Downs. Ashley couldn't be there that day. Fortunately, Pam was there just to be there on set and shooting stills. So in this particular scene, well, why don't we just show you what happened? But you should know this before we do. I kept dropping my gun as we walked in, and Neil told me I would drop it and it would stop the scene, reset. You'll see why that's important in a second. But finally, we'd got one in the can, and Neil comes up to me and goes, listen to me, it's very important. No matter what happens, I know you're dropping your gun, whatever happens, just go with it. We can always put the gun back in your hand in game. Don't worry about it. Just go with the scene.
But for me,
He had given a little bit different note of direction.
yeah, he told me just try something new.
So this is
Oh, I know what this is.
Parker.
Get away from her! Get away!
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, what then? What then? She'll be raped and murdered. Raped and murdered.
It's not for you to decide!
The fact that Troy just goes with it.
It's what she'd want. And you know it, Joe.
fucking great part.
What am I feeling? So much confusion. I've got a man in my arms and a girl with a gun to my head. But there she
If The Last of Us was a
on the
musical.
table.
Look at her, Joe. Look at her. You can still do the right thing.
Damn.
Joe.
Die! Die! Die!
Boy. Boy. Please let me go.
Nolan's expression, yeah.
You just come after. Come on, Ellie. We gotta go. Let's get you out of here. They're coming soon, and I will let you die. Your brain is worth more alive.
So that's one version of the scene.
The best is you scoring
Okay.
the whole thing.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how the game meant for it to be.
I won't let you take her. This is our future.
I don't think I've seen this.
come any closer. I mean it.
Do I shoot him or do I not?
You have to.
Nope. I guess so.
You animal.
You fucking animal!
Shut the hell up.
The game doesn't give you a choice. You have to.
So here's a great moral decision. Do you shoot the other doctors?
Do you think they'll stop you from taking her?
You grabbing something?
I mean, are they of any harm to you?
You do not have to shoot them.
Oh.
Baby girl, I got you. I got you.
Oh, baby.
Oh, shit. Get you out of here, girl. I got you. I got you. Come on. Damn it, which way?
So if you don't shoot the doctors, then you don't have to.
We're okay. We're okay. I said get back! Hey, stop!
Is Nolan crying? I think Nolan's crying.
Have a gun out. Have a gun out. Have a gun out.
Oh.
Can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what?
Oh.
How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is, if she hasn't been raped and murdered first.
It ain't for you to decide.
That's what she'd want. And you know it. Look. You can still do the right thing here. She won't feel anything.
Oh, no. What would Anna say?
What the hell am I wearing?
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
Little baby.
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done them a damn bit of good, neither. They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
Now.
Looks like we're walking. Should be a straight shot through here.
You were saying?
Dope scene. Do we have opinions about the ethics of that? Of his lying to her and his choice here?
Wow.
I mean, y'all have kids, so talk to me about that.
I would add another layer to this.
Yeah.
And I would ask you both
Is
to
it-
answer this.
Tell me the layer.
Is it selfish?
Imagine
Or
for a
is it
second.
humane? Okay, I'm listening.
Imagine for a second that Ellie knew the entire time.
That she was the only hope?
No.
Oh.
That they were going
She
to
was
kill
gonna
her.
die?
That she was going to die.
That the Fireflies, this is what it meant. That to be the cure meant also to be the sacrifice. And that this has been her death march the entire time, which is why she's been so fascinated with the world that she's about to leave. It's in the world that she never knew, of girls that dressed up for dates and played video games, because she knew that she was going to die and she wanted to know what she was dying for. So it's not that Joel, when she says it can't be for nothing, she's saying my death can't be for nothing because I know that I'm going to die. So what if the real crime is that Joel took away the meaning from her death?
Yeah, and I think it's just played perfectly because he lost his daughter. This is like, I'm not going to lose another daughter. She's become so close, personally, to him.
For me, for Joel, he never set out to be someone who's going to save the world, but through the course of this whole journey, that's what he did. He saved the world, and his whole world is this little girl. And if we can't save one little girl, then it's not a world that's worth saving.
Don't want your head going through.
However,
I got it.
the other side of that, giving her up, very Abraham and Isaac,
Don't
would
think I ever told you, but
ensure
Sarah and I used to take hikes like
a
this.
future and safety for the entire species and race, because it is possible that
You really would have liked it.
he will not live through this. She will be the only standing.
But look at the separation between them now. What he's talking about Sarah, so he's brought him closer, but she's separating herself.
I'm on the stick.
Choice
I'm
was
also
the
taking
real
my
meaning
time. I
of
can go
Ellie's life, just
faster,
the
but
friends we
you
made
can't.
along the way.
I
much.
love that notion, though, of there is some separation between the two of them.
Yeah,
Do you think, well, we'll get to that moment in a second, but this was one of the last scenes that we shot. The scene that's coming up.
Well, the question is, did he save her for her or for him?
What a great question.
I have them every now and then.
It's a little bit further now.
I think he found hope, and to have her die, like he could give a shit about the rest of the world because he got his hope back.
This whole playthrough has been, this is my fourth playthrough, maybe? Fourth. And I can't, this is incomparable to anything else. And I was afraid that we weren't gonna have this moment, we weren't gonna be able to have you be a part of it. And I am beyond grateful to not only just reconnect with you.
How is there one more
here
episode
stateside as
after
opposed to
this
being in London.
when
Yeah,
the
indeed.
game is over?
But also
Like,
be able to
I don't
hear
know.
your thoughts and your stories and your feelings and watching you experience this for the first time like we've been doing
It's
with Nolan
absolutely.
as well.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around, and I guess that's part of the real gift that this game brings, this ethical dilemma that we're kind of sitting with right now. And is it that in our one-on-one human connection and protecting our own little microcosm of the world, is it in that little one-on-one interaction that we are saving the greater, or is it, is something else? Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. Sometimes looking at the vast, array of tragedies that are happening all over the world, and all you can really tackle and all you can handle is what's right in front of you. I don't know if there's some virtue in that.
The beauty that I find in this is that this is an experience. I won't even say a game, but this is an experience that doesn't necessarily seek to answer that question, but rather just start a conversation about it, or keep the conversation going about it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly opens your heart to, so much bigger thinking, which is really neat. I love that. I love that we're a part of such a groundbreaking piece of art.
You rounded that out as well. Your performance, just like everybody else as a member of this, stands up to this day, and I am honored to have worked with you. I'm honored to know you, honored to call you a friend.
You too, my love.
Yeah.
My new friend.
That's right. By the way, she chose to sit next to me.
This great chasm between us.
Everybody, please, from wherever you're sitting, standing, laying, please give it up for the one and only Merle Dandridge.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
You bet. There's one final moment. And
by the way,
yeah,
very, very cool.
She's incredible.
Are you
lost where Joel is.
I like this. Joel said, "Here, I got you."
I walked over. I went to the wrong side of the log. There's one final moment, and come on, get up there.
Give me your hand.
I am. There it is.
All right, come on.
Hey, wait. Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there, and she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. We can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
Oh, you don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you, no matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Ooh.
Okay.
I want to know your thoughts on that moment so badly, but I don't want to have that conversation without having someone that we've been waiting a very, very long time, the entire time we've been playing this game, to have on here. We can't discuss that scene without Ashley Johnson. Stick around.
Man, that's some intense stuff. I think they also bring Neil Druckmann on. Just watch the last one now. Okay. Okay. There we go. Alrighty, here's the last one. I think they bring Neil Druckmann on as well. Neil.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Hello. What are you doing here? How
Haven't seen
strange.
you in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, man.
Well, let's read this.
No.
Creative director,
We don't have 45
Neil
minutes of reading. Yeah, let's read that one. We thank you
Oh, hi.
for being here. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
We could not imagine doing this without you guys. This has been a long time coming. It's been first of all, not only just for us, but just for this. We've had an opportunity to sit down and talk about this in different kind of mediums, whether it be for interviews or press conferences or like press tours. But to actually go through the game now 7 years later, and to be able to kind of step through everything.
Whoa.
You got old. Look at you. Look at your beard. Look at your game dev beard. It's actually trimmed up. You've done a
Crazy,
good
that's when
thing.
it came out. That's not even counting
'Cause when
the
did it
years that
start?
we all worked on it. Not even to mention how long you worked on it.
You started. You did. How long were you in development? It was 5.5 years. You started on
early 2010 because we just finished Uncharted 2.
Right.
And then
We were working on Uncharted 3 when you brought me to Naughty Dog. And I was like, I want to show you this idea for this character.
It'll never work.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
yeah, 2010 we started. Just started with me and Bruce in a room, just putting note cards on the wall. And then the team slowly grew, and you guys came in, and now we have The Last of Us.
When you first started, like everyone tries to distill it down to what are we trying to make? Why this game? Why now? What was that for you? Like, what were you thinking? What in the world were you thinking?
There was just like a lot of things that were inspiring all at the same time. I remember Bruce and I used to brainstorm while we were working on Uncharted 2. We would go to dinners. We're crunching really late and then go to dinners and just brainstorm other games. And we're talking about this idea of what if Nate was in this war-torn city and he was like with this girl that was mute, and you had to she wanted to show you the city and like she would like lead you along and traverse and would like brainstorm all these things. That turned into like the whole Tenzin sequence in Uncharted 2.
No kidding.
I love that sequence.
Oh, so this wasn't in response to that. This became that.
Yeah.
Tenzin was an ugly woman.
So Tenzin's whole like inspiration was like from Eco, like this whole kind of like two characters that don't speak the same language. So that was our interpretation of that. Oh, Pogo and Trumpet.
Oh.
Who are Pogo and Trumpet? Who are that? Obviously.
Evan Wells' dog and Christoph Blesser's dogs that have now passed away. Those two dogs, but they used to be the Naughty Dogs.
Wait. So were they still alive when you were making this?
Can I interrupt? This was one of the coolest things that you did that, and Nolan North as David. That was the coolest credit I think I've ever gotten.
Well, you specifically
Just
with
the way it was
David wanted to put you in the game and didn't want anyone to recognize you. And
I
it was
remember-
supposed to be like a big secret. And in fact, there's an interview with Jeff Keighley's interviewing me and Bruce, and I think he said jokingly, "It's like, so who's Nolan North playing?" And Bruce flipped out at Jeff.
I'm pausing
like,
for a second
to try to keep
because
it
I have a
secret
thought.
The whole time.
She said, oh.
Yeah, when I watched Bryce's playthrough and I saw Nolan North's name, for David, I was like, what? Like, I was so shocked because I obviously didn't know that it was him. But that was the point, because you weren't supposed to know that it was him. But yeah. Okay, back to the video.
Oh, he's who?
Don't worry about
I
it.
remember we talked about people like didn't know it was me. Well, a lot of people didn't know, and then when I saw that credit, I remember that was the coolest.
I still see people surprised. Like, I read Reset Era and like all these forums, and like every once in a while someone will be like, oh, by the way, Nolan North plays David, and people are like, what?
Yeah.
Are you
really
fucking
doesn't
kidding
sound
me?
like you.
It's just, but to get, it's such a cool credit, and just because that's just so I'm sure I better have said thank you a long time ago, but
I'm pretty
thanks.
sure.
So in the next one, will there be another one?
So
we're still trying to figure that out.
I think David.
Actually,
You
I
never
gotta
see him
go.
die.
What am I doing here?
No shit, you have a game to finish.
Anyway, to quickly answer your question, is like the whole idea for this game, the very basic concept that we were intrigued by is like, can you make a game where two characters start and they don't even like each other?
Nolan's like,
and
so
by the
can
end
David
of this
make a
whole
comeback?
Arc, this whole journey, they love each other the way a parent loves a child and a child loves a parent. This is unconditional love, and can we make the player feel that through a sequence of chapters in a way, like all these chapters that you're playing as you're going on this cross-country journey. That was the main.
And I love how you
impetus
did it with seasons.
for making the game.
So kind of the 4-act structure, I suppose. There's things that I've gone through this, and I've played this. This will be now my 4th time that I've played it through. There's different things that stand out to me every time, and I'd never noticed literally the positioning that Ellie has, or Joel and Ellie have, the distance that even the AI takes in the very beginning. That there's much more distance between Joel and Ellie, and that's represented even just in the way that the character follows you to, once the relationship gets closer, that Ellie's now closer to you, and then Ellie starts. I remember the first time that Ellie jumps down and Joel even says, "Well, hey, wait up for me." The first time when you start to go meet the hunters. Where do those ideas come from? Because that is that just kind of born out of just literally getting on the stick and going, well, what if we did this? Or is there an idea that's percolating there that you're finding the way to execute it as you go along?
So we have the high-level thing of like, we want these two characters to come together. And then each chapter, it's broken up by like a sub-idea. So for example, Pittsburgh, if I remember correctly, we're like, okay, this is where these two characters have to start trusting each other. So how do we do that? Well, we have to start by putting Ellie in a really precarious situation where Joel tries to be overprotective and he can't be. And then we flip it, where Joel's in trouble and Ellie comes and saves him. And then they slowly realize they have to rely on one another. And that's all of Pittsburgh, is like those kind of ideas. And we'll brainstorm way more ideas than we can put in the game. But those are the ones that win out. Whereas like the winter sequence is where, what if like Ellie becomes the protector over Joel? And like we flip those roles, and now all the ideas have to adhere to that kind of high level objective that we're after for that sequence. So each sequence has an objective that we're after in this much larger arc for these characters. Going back to the very beginning, if I may tell this story, because I think it's a great story. I didn't know this until maybe you even knew this. What was your original title? Well, this is taken up all sorts of forms. There was one, originally there was like a story that had some of the basic themes. It was called The Turning, when I thought this would be a graphic novel. I mean your original title, like your... Well, the original title for the game was called Mankind. Okay. Yeah. But your actual function, like Neil Druckmann's title within this, was what? Like your... Oh, my title is like what was on your business card? What was... When we started this at Naughty Dog, it was lead designer. Lead designer. Yeah. So, do you remember this? This is a fascinating story.
Maybe?
There's something that we've glossed over, but this is fascinating. So, lead designer. You've been with Naughty Dog at that point, how long? So 2010, 6 years. 6 years. In that time, you had worked on Uncharted, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3. Yeah. Not Uncharted 3. Not Uncharted 3 because you had started this. Gordon Hunt originally was set to be the director because why not? He shepherded with Amy this entire franchise that was so tremendously successful.
Oh, I see where the story is going.
You know where I'm going with this. And then we start getting into it. We shoot all the scenes. We shoot a lot of the scenes we shot Truck Ambush. We shot a lot of Billstown, and just the tone with Ellie Rifle was originally shot with Gordon, and then the tone was just like, we need something different. We want to have it to have a different voice than what Uncharted did. So we start looking, or you guys start looking, it was like, let's start looking for different directors. Gordon being the absolute saint that he was, totally understood. And you start auditioning all these different directors. And then finally somebody, maybe it was Evan or Christoph, was like, why don't you do this?
Yeah, so
I want you to tell the story.
Well, first let me back up and say like what an influence Gordon has been, because like being on the set, watching Gordon direct Uncharted and working closely with him, it was like a mentor in a lot of ways, and so much of how I direct actors I learned from Gordon Hunt. And then yes, we decided we wanted a different tone and started interviewing directors, and I think I came to you guys to ask for some recommendations.
I gave some.
I remember that.
I gave some not so good ones. Yeah.
And then, but realized I don't know how to interview a director, so I started like reading books on directing, and I took an acting class, all with the hopes of like, oh, I want to understand what a director does, so I can interview them, so we can hire the right person to make this game. And then more doing that, just started getting the idea. I was like, well, I'm really enjoying this. Why don't I do it? Like, can I talk directly? I'm not sure. And actually, and I remember like, I talked to Bruce Straley about it, and Bruce was like, I think you should do it. Why would we don't need someone between you and the actors. You should just talk directly to the actors. I'm like, okay, well, I wanted someone's backing with a Naughty Dog, and then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to do this. I remember I was so nervous, I called you guys one at a time, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I signed on to work with Gordon Hunt, and instead I'm going to be doing this, and you're both super supportive and said like, we're with you, and it gave me the confidence to do it. And I remember telling you like, I know I'm going to mess up, I'm not going to do the right stuff, please bear with me, and we'll get through this.
I feel like,
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm rewriting history, rewriting the narrative, but I feel like there was a conversation where we had talked about where we knew that Gordon wasn't going to continue. I feel like we had talked about, both of us were like, well, why don't you just do it?
Mm-hmm. Maybe you've said it, I don't remember. It's like how many years ago?
I feel like we did, because I feel like both of us were like, you can totally do this.
Mm-hmm. There's two things that I love most about this story. One is, do you remember your first day as director?
So I feel like that's...
You should remember this very well.
Well, I remember what happened. I think we were shooting some of the Bill stuff.
Mm-hmm. Earl came back, he was gracious, and he was like, yep, I totally understand, let's go. And we reshot a lot of the stuff, but...
Yeah, so I don't think I've ever said this story publicly, but...
Really?
Yeah, so my daughter had fallen and had to go to the hospital the same day. And I'm on the phone with Maya, and like we're talking about my daughter, so I had to wrap up, and then I knew I'm going to meet them at the emergency room. And then I'm starting to get a headache, and I'm starting to see double. So I drive the emergency room, daughter's fine, everything's cool. The next morning, I'm still seeing double. I drive myself to the emergency room, and turns out I have to get surgery. I had an infection, I was going into my eye, and I almost lost vision in my left eye. And I needed emergency surgery that day, so I was working through that pain.
I've never heard this story.
I was working through that pain.
Day on the
first
job.
day, like I'm working through that pain and seeing double
It's
and
an omen.
directing. And I'm like, I gotta work through it. I gotta work through it.
And I'm like, Neil, I think I'd like another take. And he's like, I'm going blind. You're killing me, literally. The beauty of this, though, is that throughout that entire process, what was once you decided to take on those responsibilities of being the cinematics director and actually working through the scenes with the actors on the stage, what was your title then?
Well, around that time, that was a year into production, I became creative director. So I started lead designer, became creative director.
But when you first stepped foot on the stage, was your title creative director?
Not yet. I don't think so.
This is my favorite part of the story.
Interesting.
Well,
what part?
So you were
Well, he's not saying something. You're dying for him to say something.
May I?
Go ahead.
Okay. As you've told the story to me, we just assumed you were just the director, and you assumed all these responsibilities with no title. And if I remember correctly, you came maybe a couple of months into this, you came to Evan and you were like, or Christoph, and you said, so do I get the title of creative director? And they said no. They said lead designer is enough, and they sent you about your way, and then you came back to them again another time, maybe 6 months later, and said, I really feel like I deserve this title. And you said, why? And they said, well, I'm afraid that here I am, and I'm giving people all of this creative direction, and I'm not the creative director. I was like, oh, are people not listening to you? And you said, well, no.
I remember now. So there's a lot of important lessons that I got from Evan and
important lesson for me too,
and Christoph, which was like, titles don't really matter. And the way that things work at Naughty Dog is like, you do a responsibility for a while, and people start organically working with you as if you have that title, and then you get that title. It's not the other way around. So you have to kind of prove, you have to earn it before you get it. You don't need the title to get the respect and to do the job. You just do the job, and then you get the title.
So it was probably about a year, like you said,
it's
into
like a
production.
year into production of Last of Us.
You finally got the title. And you're like, by the way, you're creative director. You're like, I gotta go. Get out of my office, I got work to do.
What did you find like most satisfying about when you got the final product? It goes out there. People lose their minds. I mean, looking back, and I know we're months away from the highly anticipated sequel. What was most satisfying?
It's such a roller coaster because before the game comes out, especially this one, like you go a month before we finished, it was so rough. So many of us on the team were like, I don't think this game's gonna be good. Like it just doesn't play well. We're like, parts of the story don't quite come together, and we're like, and it's more nuanced and stuff we've done in the past. I don't think it's gonna resonate as much like as Uncharted with people. And then to have it ship and have people play it and finish it and argue about the ending and argue about the characters and get tattoos, and it resonates with them. It's so surreal. It's like it doesn't even register. Like to this day, like people come to me like say what the game has meant to them, or like it helped them work through a difficult part of their life, and it's still hard to believe.
Well, I've heard that with Uncharted as well. And I think what the beauty of what you guys created at Naughty Dog, and I mean you were instrumental in the first two as well. With the Uncharted, it's like people have tattoos, Sic Parvis Magna. Yeah. People have the Firefly tattoo. Like Alex. Troy and I go all over the world now, and there are people who have Naughty Dog tattoos. There are people who like, if I could just one day work at Naughty Dog, and those are two franchises that are just tonally just complete opposites. Right. And they are some of them. They're just honestly.
But their heart is
the most
similar,
beloved
right?
thing.
It's like they're very character driven, and they're very about.
They're story driven too. They're character driven. What I always loved about it is the characters help drive a brilliant story, and it wasn't like, well, we got a good story, just stick some characters.
Plot. We don't need a great plot.
And when you have characters like Joel and Ellie, I'll tell you something that in everything, like obviously the opening scene just shocked me, but Brandon Scott and his little brother,
Henry and Sam.
That hit me somewhere. I was like, whoa, because it just like things like that. Like that. It's like no. And it's just, and he's gone, and you're like, he's gone.
And we were so far away from that huge, impactful moment of the prologue, to where you had almost kind of forgotten a little bit, and especially that beautiful moment of kind of having that campfire scene with, talking about riding the Harleys with Tommy, and everyone's kind of laughing, and Ellie gives the toy and reminds Sam that he's still a child.
And he throws it down.
And they're having this existential conversation. It's like, what do you think happens to these people? Like, is there a person that's still inside of there? What happens to when we die? Like, Sam is looking to Ellie, of all people, for these answers. Like, I know what's about to happen to me, and I need you to tell me, you're my last confession. I need you to tell me that's gonna be okay. And the beauty
this is why
and the
I think
tragedy of that moment.
Sam
is
got
that
to say
Ellie
goodbye
does
because
in her
he
way
knew
offer the
that
truth.
he was gonna
And it's not what Sam wants
unalive.
to hear. That stuff like that becomes revelatory, not on your first playthrough, not on your second or your third. I remember the moment when you and I, there's that little office that was attached to the outside of the stage, and we would go in every morning. That's where we would do our table reads, even on Uncharted, on the now parking lot that was Culver Stages. And you and I sat down, and Bruce and Neil gave us the same pitch that they had given to Sony, and they were like, well, there it is. That's going to be whatever this game's going to be called, T1, because we didn't have a title for it.
You know why it's called T1?
Is the next big thing? Is that what
Next
it was?
big thing. So there was Thing.
Thing.
There was 1 because we were like, oh, maybe it'll be good. We'll make another.
Which you told us later, you're like, I don't care. I was like, well, but what about this? I kept giving you this great advice the entire way.
You kept telling me how you thought Joel should die.
I did.
Repeatedly saying, I think Joel should die at the end of this.
No, I wish he had.
And then Nate Drake comes up. I actually had an idea where I thought that Nate and Joel should meet, and fortunately this man was like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But for you,
he's just climbing.
20 years later.
He's a clicker, though.
Yeah.
Sully's like, clicker.
You and I remember Neil and Bruce finished the pitch, and they showed the beautiful pitch deck and PowerPoint. I'm like, well, that's it. And we're like, let's take a break. We're like, yeah. We walked outside, and I was still smoking, and I lit up a cigarette. And you and I both were just like overwhelmed. And I remember looking to you and saying, do you realize that if this thing sucks, it's because of us?
Yeah.
What you've now, so much life has happened for you. Do you remember like how you felt when you first? We talked a little bit about like, getting in the suit and how funny that was, but what were you thinking this thing was going to be?
I think what it ended up being for me is so much more than just what am I trying to say? So much more than a game being out there in the world. I think the experience and sort of the afterlife of what happened with the game, knowing you guys, and just the experience of shooting it, and I've talked about this before, like that first game, that was a level of collaboration that I've never experienced.
That's the Naughty Dog thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's, you know, as an actor, as an artist, as someone who's creating, those are the experiences that you yearn for, and you don't get them often. And I think that was my huge takeaway. I mean, but now after obviously the game has been out for 7 years, and sort of the conversations with people who have played the game and who talk about what the game means to them, and it's, yeah, I mean, I've said this before, it's so much more than just a game to me. It's been a life experience and a life lesson.
That's what's cool, like working with you all, is that this will sound a little kiss-assy, but it's true. Is that right? Ellie could someone else play Ellie? Maybe, but it'd be a very different Ellie. Sure. It wouldn't be this Ellie. Could someone else play Joel? It'd be such a different Joel. Same thing with David. It's like you guys own those roles to such a degree and just bring so much of yourselves into it. It becomes, like you're saying, a collaboration.
Yeah.
And those are the most fun things to work on, is like other people surprising you with what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Sometimes those moments can be moments of contention.
But with you all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, but it was always interesting that no matter what role whatever anybody's role, everybody had a voice. So, you know, I remember in everything we've ever done, you were like, what do you think? What do you think? And I could see in your eyes, you're like, I'm gonna indulge. I'm gonna let you do, but what do you think? And you know, but that's just to be able to do that. Have the time, take the time. You've talked about that a lot. Always take their time to do the scene, do it again, do it again. Try it this way, and it could be something very subtle, but everybody's input, anybody in that cast, had the input to their character and to the scene, and their opinion mattered. And I think that's a rather than like action, we got it, moving on.
There's moments though where that you do allow that freedom. You do foster a very collaborative partnership, and you do. I told you this for you on your birthday. I was like, thanks for always letting me give one more take, even when it was a really bad idea.
Sometimes we're good ideas.
Sometimes we're good ideas. Probably the most asked about scene that I get is Sarah. And playing through this for the first time, Nolan had never experienced that before. Knew about it, kind of, but there's a difference when you're on the stick. It's a difference when you're the one driving that, and it's an indelible thing. Even just watching it is a different thing than actually playing through it. That, I don't think I've ever asked what was going through your mind, because to summate that experience, we shoot it. I've talked about what I went through, and then we come back and we go through it again. And then there was it was the third take, the second time shooting it. You walked it to me and uttered the famous phrase now to me, which is, "I'm picking up on some resistance." Did you know this?
Yeah.
Pam has a great shot because
such a
Pam.
good way to say
I
that.
forgot, but Pam was on set that day, and there's a great shot of the back of us, and Neil is here and I'm here, and I'm looking this way, and we're having this very intense conversation. And what you said to me, I remember this very vividly, is you said, right now what I have, I said, you're damn right, you're picking up on some resistance, because we already have this scene and you're wasting everybody's time, including myself, because you're gonna go back and you're gonna realize that it was take one and we had it. And he said, right now what I have is a man broken. I said, yeah, his daughter just died. And you told me, what I don't have is what's happening, this is happening, I can fix it, it's not working, she's going, she's gone, I'm broken. And it was understanding. There was a moment that was there, and you picked up on something that I was not aware of at all, and you did the same thing in Ranch House as well. It's something that I really struggled with as an actor in this, is that I never looked at her. I never looked at Sarah. In Ranch House, I hadn't looked at you, which prompted you to shove me. As a director, when you're watching this scene that you have poured yourself into on this page, and you've iterated upon with the team, and you know what function it serves in a game, to get an actor on stage that just isn't doing it. How do you meet that challenge, and what are you thinking?
Usually what I'm thinking is like,
God damn it, get it?
No, usually I'm thinking, man, I suck. Reshooting a scene is one of the hardest calls for me to make.
Why?
Because it feels like I failed. Like, my job is to kind of like help us as a group move towards something that like is gonna slot into this part of the game.
Okay.
And when I say we got it, I need you all to trust me that we got it. That's like part of like the kind of relationship that we have, that you guys are having to trust that I'm watching it and I'm gonna make the right calls to make you all look good and like make the characters authentic and honest. So when I say we got it on such a hard scene, and I in hindsight, I realized I was getting just uncomfortable with how many takes we were doing. That I felt like we had all the pieces and we could edit it together, which is always a bad. Once you like say that in your mind, it's like something is.
I can
not
cut
right.
it together.
Yeah. And then when we were at the studio and we cut it together, and like it's impressive. It's like there are all like so many great performances, and it's like it's good, and it felt. This is gonna sound conceited, but like it felt like it could be good for a lot of other games, but not good enough for this game.
Right.
And I felt like we don't have the pieces to make it the way I'm kind of seeing it in my head. So then it was like having to make that call. I was like, and that's after we've spent weeks editing what we had, and like trying different versions, and like okay, just cutting it down, like editing this is the best version. And it was like, and it's good. It was like, fuck, we gotta go back to the stage. How am I gonna tell them we're gonna go back to the stage? And I remember we're shooting something else, and it's like, and I'm like so nervous, and I'm like trying to work up the courage to say like we're gonna reshoot the scene, because I know how like it was hard work, and I know what you had to tap into to get to that place. And I think you're like on a smoking break or something, and we're like outside. I'm like, hey, by the way, there's something I gotta tell you. And it's like, I'm like, hey, remember that scene we shot? He's like, yeah. And he's all excited, like, yeah, it was awesome, right? And I'm like, yeah, it was really good, except that we have to go back and shoot it. They're like, ha 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 ha, funny. and I'm like, no.
Oh my God, I forgot.
This is like our I'm not joking line. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? I mean, okay, if you want to do it, we'll do it.
Instantly in opposition to you. Yeah.
So that was a hard one. So I guess to answer your question, how do you do it? I don't know. I guess you just try to. You have tools, right? So we could talk about the scene. We could try to give like some action verbs of like how different ways you could play it. We could talk about, hey, I'm feeling some resistance. What is it about the scene that's not working? What is it about this process that's not working? Do we need to take a break? Do we need to focus on something else? And what worked in that one, I remember it wasn't any of the high level stuff. Like I even remember like saying, because I was trying to downplay it. I felt like it was bigger than it needed to be.
It was really, really big.
And I was just like, how do we make it small? And I didn't want to say that because I felt, and I remember like at one point I said to you, what if we don't think of it like your daughter, think of it like your friend? And you're like, that's weird. It's like, okay, that didn't work. And it finally took up like, okay, how do you process like, what if you just didn't understand what was happening? And I felt like that was the key to unlocking that scene. It was like, oh, I can fix this. Like, let's get Joel in a place where he feels like he can fix this. And then slowly realizes he can't fix this. And we only get the grieving at the very, very end. And we don't even actually really get into it. We cut right before. Right. And that felt like the better choice for that scene.
Did you ever have a scene like that you felt that you were...
I remember we had some scenes on Uncharted 4 that were pretty tough like that.
As far as like resistance, or I'm picking up on some resistance.
Getting older.
Picking up on some resistance.
Not resistance, just showing vulnerable parts of the characters that were just like...
Like which ones? I mean, I know you're right. I'm
picking up on some resistance.
I'm picking up on some resistance.
I'm picking up on a man getting older going,
let's save it for the Uncharted 4 playthrough.
Oh, hey!
I have to do that. Absolutely. Like, yeah, well, there were some moments that we definitely touched on those things. But I think that's the great thing about
I mean, I feel like that's
Naughty Dog,
something interesting. When
Naughty
you're like,
Dog characters in general, right? I mean, there's vulnerability. They're real people. And I think that's why people could relate to Nathan Drake, can relate to Joel, can relate to Ellie, relate to Elena, any of the characters. I mean, this game is taxed me. Just watching it. Playing it is just a whole nother level. My back hurts. I'm but you're like, my back like every time he would go underwater, I'd go.
Yeah.
I mean, you are immersed and you feel like an actual level of. You feel scared. You feel not scared as much as just threat and hope and. The one thing that I notice about this game is like you get through a level in most games like, whew. Here it's like
boss battle, good, done.
What's next?
Yep.
I mean, and is it ever going to get better? I mean, like for the characters, because you are so invested in them as you move forward, and you know, I'm completely sold. Like I cannot wait for the next one. Don't push the date again. For me now.
I think we can.
I've already promised myself, I promised Troy, before Last of Us 2 comes out, I'm going back through this myself. It may take me, I probably should start now.
Second playthrough is way...
Well, you know what everybody told me? They said, yeah, turn out all the lights, do it. And I'm like, hell no, it's going to be in the morning with the bright, you know, with the smell of cinnamon toast and the oven. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to watch this. It's beautiful. It's poetic. It is. It's one of the best experiences I've had watching a game, and we've been looking at a bunch of them in the last couple of years, Troy and I. And this is.
It's kind of understanding where games have come from to know why this game landed, when it did, how it did, with the team that it had. Who had grown up playing like this legacy of titles that we've been playing through. Because this, as much as Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, even Spider-Man. The original Atari, not
That's a terrible game, by the way.
There's these watershed moments in gaming where universally, not only just the industry, but the world, not to be glib by any means, but literally the world stood up and took notice of this. People who had never picked up a controller before looked at this game and said, this is something different, this is something special, this is something that was daring. And I believe at the root of it is because something you told me once, which is, you said if your hands weren't trembling to press send on the email with the sides to the scenes we were going to shoot, you knew that you didn't do your job. This was done
yeah, me
not
too.
with fear, but with a lot of faith, but putting you to a place that you felt stretched. You're like,
but do you love this more than me?
It's gonna suck. There's no way we can make
Just
the game
kidding.
that we're setting
Don't
out to
answer
make.
that.
But when you do something, anything, whether it be a game, a film, a show, a book, a painting, a song, or just your life, when you operate from a place like that says, I get one go around, and it's good enough for most people, but not for this. This one has to be great. Then you get something like this that almost a decade later continues to move people, to challenge people, inspire people, get tattoos, to realize that no matter what, you keep finding something to fight for.
What's actually cool is we're now wrapping up the second game, and there are so many new team members that came to Naughty Dog because of this game.
Because
so, so there's there's now team members that are like, I was on a field, I was going to do engineering and work for SpaceX or something, and now I'm here at Naughty Dog because of The Last of Us.
I was working on the cure for cancer, and instead...
The only problem that I see that Naughty Dog has created with the Uncharted series and now Last of Us series is, what are you gonna do after this? It's like good luck. It's like we are. I mean, it's these guys.
Yeah,
guys set the bar. I mean,
What horizon do we shoot for next?
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
Do you What are your? We talked about Ranch House. We talked about Saracene. Is there? I hate asking favorite questions, but is there a scene that you look back and go, that one is.
I know this answer.
Well, actually.
When you hack David's face.
Yeah. I remember getting those scenes for winter for all the David stuff, and I remember because I got that email when I was at a TGI Fridays.
Which is the saddest thing you could ever.
Not a joke. But I just remember I was
looks
sitting
like you
there
killed
and I was
David
like,
in a
oh
Friday.
shit. Yeah. I love the ranch house scene.
Which
boy.
I think you remember that how I remember it, and I would love for you to correct my version if it is incorrect. But what I remember is that we worked on that scene a lot, and we shot it very. We had probably more takes than we had done in most scenes, and it was great, or it was good, but it wasn't great.
Then we took a break.
I said, can I take
we
5?
took like 15
No,
or
you take 10. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I went to my corner, and something that very similar in Ranch House, or in Saracen, I wasn't looking at you. And I tell people this a lot, that the shove was not scripted. And there's something I hadn't picked up on until even this playthrough. Joel tells Ellie, you have no idea what loss is. And again, you always want to ground a character in something that's true to you, and that is not a statement that is true about you. You have experienced loss, far more than most people ever should. And in that moment, I didn't realize that what Ellie was telling me, what Ashley was telling me, was her truth, and that Joel was not receiving that truth, and was not in a place to even look and receive it. And is that what prompted that shove? Like, where did that come from for you?
Boy, I think I've noticed that when I'm working, there are times where I like I have a million thoughts right now, and so I'm trying to make this concise. The only way that I really like my work is when I am 100% present. And I can tell sometimes when I'm on a track. Like I'm just going through the motions in a scene and it's like just looping. And I'm like, I need to do something to get off the track. So whether that's throwing something, oftentimes it's violence, which is,
revealing.
I need to learn to use my words. I think sometimes it's like throwing something or shoving or sometimes it's something else. Like I'll just say something that is not in the scene and then we'll just jump back into the dialogue. But I think I need something to just like snap me out of it I need something new.
Bring it back to the present.
Yeah, to bring it back to the present and I think the most important thing that I know that I need and for when doing a scene with a partner is like we both have to be listening to each other. And I can tell when I'm not fully listening or hearing them, and a lot of times I'll just like grab somebody and then we'll just stare at each other for a minute, just be like, hold on, let's just really connect here for a second. So maybe that's why it happened. I think it was just it just felt organic in that moment to sort of have that frustration of, and it also kind of made sense in the scene of Ellie telling Joel, like, you're not listening to me, you're not hearing me. But I think it's kind of a selfish thing that I do, but it's, usually the next takes from there, I do it to snap out of it. But sometimes there was an acting teacher that I once worked with who said that sometimes when you're doing scenes with someone and they do something that's not in the scene that's different, she would call them a gift. And I've always thought that was so great because when someone does that with me, I'm like, whoa, oh, now I'm in the scene. What's going on? What are you doing? I'm watching everything that you're doing right now because I don't know what you're doing next. And I love working with people like that when I'm almost nervous about what they're going to be doing next. Because you're always on your toes.
There's a quote by Richard Burton. They said, "Sir Richard, how do you do the acting so well?" And he said, "It's easy. I will give you everything, but if you give me nothing, I will take it from you." And that's because he understood that the scene needs to eat, and whomever is going to feed the beast will feed the beast. But if no one's feeding it, if I'm feeding myself, if I'm feeding my own self-indulgence, if I'm trying to prove people that I'm a good actor, the scene will not eat, and the scene will feel stale, and the scene will feel false.
Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like the
that.
shove is feeding the scene. That this is, I'm on a loop, I'm on a track. I don't feel it's selfish at all. I think it's actually very giving. It's a gift, like you said.
Thanks.
I mean, that one
But that was the one we used.
Let you guys be. Like I remember you
It's like,
needed
oh,
a break,
shit,
took a break, and then came back, and it just played out the way it did, and that was it.
I think from that, from at least 7 years ago, I think that's more of a common theme now for me, which maybe because I feel like that came up a lot in the second game. Every once in a while, there was something of just like, I think it's also frustration, where I'll be like, it's not working. Something will, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it throws things off. But I think sometimes you just have to try. And that's what's nice about being on the stage is that you have the time, you can just keep going over and over. And I will not stop. I will keep doing a scene until someone tells me to stop.
As you look down, I remember the first time we stepped back on stage after the first time, since we'd shipped the game. First time for me, second time for you since Left Behind.
You're in Left Behind. You're lying there.
I'm lying there. Wonderfully. Some of my finest work. And I remember exactly where we were as Joel walks in, Ellie's in there, and the first words that Joel said, and I remember everyone's response, it was like, we're back. Do you feel because you have such a tremendously successful game, not just commercially, critically, do you feel that weight? And how do you balance that with just trying to do what you did the first time, which is I'm just trying to tell a very simple story. And when Annie was here, we talked about this. The tasks are simple. Go get the guns. Go get the girl. Go to the radio tower. It's just these simple things. You're telling such a simple story. How do you balance that with the weight of something?
I mean, with the first one, there was also, it was the weight of Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 became this massive success, way beyond anything we thought it would be. And now we're like, okay.
You're welcome.
How do we thank you, no.
I brought
was
it
like,
home.
how do we, and you just realize, okay, we're not gonna top that, so we're gonna do something different. We're just gonna do this other thing. And then, kind of similarly with the sequel, is like, first of all, do we want to make it? And we're lucky that we have the freedom that Sony gives us where we can choose, right? We made Uncharted 4 and we haven't made another Uncharted since. Maybe one day we will, we'll see.
We'll talk about it.
So with the same game.
By the way, what you just said, the internet just exploded.
And we're back.
And then with this game, like once we decided to make it, is like we very consciously said we're not going to repeat the first game. The first game exists, you could play the first game. This is going to be a different experience. And then likewise, is like, you just can't worry about it. So you try to get into that same mentality. Because I remember working on the first game, it was like the first time I was a director, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this again. So I want to fail on my terms. So it's like, if they'll never let me do it again, I want to look at this game like, I made the game of my dreams and I'm done. That's fine. And then just try to do that again. And that was the mentality on Uncharted 4, and that was the mentality on Last of Us Part 2. And it was like, if this is the last game I make, then let me make the best game I can make.
That to me seems to be a common thread and a common denominator amongst all great works of art, is that if this is the last note that I sing, if this is the last stroke of the brush, if this is the last word that I write, let it be what I would hope would be the echo of my legacy.
We joke around the office like, this is the downfall of Naughty Dog. Throughout this entire game, we said, this is the downfall of Naughty Dog.
This is going to bring us down, but what a way to go.
I sometimes feel like that is why maybe, well, for me, I won't speak as for actors or artists in general, but why sometimes something can feel unsatisfying to me when I'm done is because I didn't risk it all. And I feel like when you put it all out there, you just bled on the floor and you just put it all out there and you're like, okay, I have nothing left to give, so now I'm slightly more satisfied than I would have been, you know?
Yeah, but I never get this. I always sit there going,
it's very
oh, I could have done it.
Yeah.
A little, not necessarily better, but just different.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had given Ellie a line differently, you would have responded differently and we'd have a whole nother scene. And it's like that with every scene. So that's why I'm just like, that's where you just, it's literally like we tell people who, I want to be an actor, how do you audition? If you audition, it's like, and it was Gordon Hunt, just bringing it back around to him. In his How to Audition book, it's, you walk out of that audition room, or you walk out of a scene, you walk away from a project, and you let it go, and you just, now it's for you. Now it's for you. And he used to say, plan something, go to a movie. Plan to see a friend for lunch. Have something to look forward to after your audition so you forget about it, so you get back to your life. And I think for me, Uncharted, this is one of my favorite characters I've ever played. I love playing somebody that's I justify him. I don't think he's a bad guy. Whatever you want to do, but
from him,
you let it go.
He's a good guy.
100%. Of course, they have to be, but you let it go, and it's so great that once we were all done, once you guys dropped that, and you finished and you ship or whatever point as artists you get to, now it's theirs, and to see that embraced, loved, was so beloved. It's that how many years later? So this came out when exactly?
2012.
So 2013.
13.
13. So it'll be 8 years It'd be 7 years. And people are just, they're putting tents out. They're gonna be like, I'm going to my tent.
Well, and I think it's a foregone conclusion that when that day comes, we'll be right back here as well playing that.
And I will be better.
You will definitely be better.
We should play it for the first time.
I'm down, dude.
Yeah.
Live stream it, fine. I'm like.
Although you won't be able to talk through it.
No.
That may be impossible.
No.
It's hard trying
That
to have
might
a
be
conversation.
impossible.
It is super hard. It works
I
different
found.
parts of your brain.
Oh, I'm terrible. I just
you
go
are
like this,
getting
feel
better.
like, Nolan, your head's on fire.
I don't care. Literally, your hair, not his.
How do I crouch?
But of course, we'll be playing it. We would love for you guys to be here, a part of that as well. We'd love for you to be a part of it as well. We can't imagine this. This would not be a definitive edition without you guys. You're amazing partners. You're amazing collaborators. I can't thank you enough for giving me this opportunity to be in this. I wouldn't be sitting next to this man suffering through his horrific playthrough.
You earned it.
Thank you.
You know what else we earned? An advanced copy.
Thank you, everybody, for joining, for sticking through this. We hope you've enjoyed this as much as we have. This has been The Last of Us, the definitive playthrough. We ask you, what do we play next?
Okay. Whew. Oh, wait, it's playing something. Okay, there we go. Yay. That was the whole definitive playthrough of The Last of Us. Troy sucked at his own game, but honestly, not surprised. But yeah, we're going to do the Uncharted 2 definitive playthrough next. Not actually next, but like in a couple days. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to be a good Bandicoot because Crash is watching. And I will see you in the next stream.